So I had this dream about waking up as a child. I'm talking like 6 years old, and I still remember everything about this timeline, I guess you could say. And it gave me an idea for this video series of the absolute terror of knowing that everything's going to be as bad as it is, and you remember all of it, and having to describe that to people that have no idea. So, as a momentum to that, I guess you could say nightmare, I'm going to describe to you things that we know as the present, but imagine having to describe that to someone in the 80s or the 90s. They have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. But even at 6 years old, I demand I be able to smoke. Okay, so first off, I suppose to get that out of the way, Donald Trump will be president in the future. And as far as you millennials are concerned, Donald Trump is just this greasy, salesman guy that has, hotels and things. And you may or may not like him, you might be amused by him, but you have no particularly strong feelings toward him, but you will. It's the weirdest shit. Like, he doesn't change as a person, he's still the same he ever was, but suddenly he is the Antichrist to you, even though it makes no sense. He's the only president that hasn't started a war in some Middle Eastern country, but somehow he's a fascist. Like, everybody claims he's a fascist and that he's encouraging fascism, even though, like I just said, he's the least imperialist president we've probably ever had. And it's not even so much that he is mean, but he just doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit about you, and he doesn't give a shit, and that just rubs people the wrong way, and they just despise him, or they love him. They worship him. He could do literally anything, and they will make excuses for it. Make Israel great again. They don't fucking care. It's the dumbest shit ever, and people on both sides just are absolutely retarded, and you want nothing to do with it. But you have to have something to do with it, because if you don't say, Orange Man bad, you're suggesting that Orange Man good. It's not good enough to just say Orange Man not as bad as you procure him to be, and it's really stupid. And you're gonna have an election after that this guy named Joe Biden may or may not win. He was vice president once, and I guess twice technically. And he's okay, I guess. He's inoffensive too. Like, he's inoffensive on the different side of the spectrum, whereas Trump literally doesn't have a particularly political aligned thing. Biden is just, he's inoffensive. He's just a neoconservative under the Democratic Party, and it upsets people then too, because in the future everybody has pink hair and wants to get their dick cut off. And that's another thing, trans. You better get used to that. Your kid's probably gonna be trans in the future. And they probably won't be good looking either, so it'll be a very huge letdown. A lot of cultural things that I really don't feel like talking about in the first video, but essentially you're gonna have a lot of trans and a lot of e-thoughts too, because I might as well bring this up, because since I'm making the first video, I'm assuming I'm around 6 years old in this past timeline. So the only girl I ever really loved isn't even born yet. And even if she were, I probably wouldn't get with her. I mean, besides the fact that she was a fetus. But the fact of the matter is that she becomes an e-thought in the future. Oh, an e-thought. That's another thing. You don't know what that is yet. Okay, an e-thought is essentially a woman that shows her pussy online, and people throw money at her for it. And this is considered legitimate work. And the fucking feds don't kick down their door and ask where the tax money is, and where's the Carfax? Show me the Carfax. Where's the fucking Oh, I don't think Carfax exists yet for that to work. Anyway, the point is, yeah, these whores are showing the pussy online, probably to underage boys, and they don't even have to pay for it. And everybody just thinks this is legitimate because, it's about my consent. I consented to sending this girl all my money and meh, meh, meh. And, that's all well and good, but my ass is still expected to work because I have a penis. And I don't want to cut off my penis. So I have to work because I have the penis that I refuse to cut off, but fucking my girlfriend, I guess now ex-girlfriend in the future, wants to show her pussy online, but she's a trans too because she identifies as a man, but she's showing her pussy online. That makes sense. It's really bad. Really bad. Like, it's not even so much that it's doomsday, it's just depressingly bad. And you're gonna hear a lot about this. You're gonna hear a lot of things. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, it can't all be bad. I mean, the technology must get better. And the technology does get better. In fact, I could make a whole video, like an American's Funniest Videos, about this whole situation. On this, you don't know what a website is yet. In the future, there will be cable television available to everyone, and it will be just as fucking corporatized as cable television. And there will be this thing called YouTube, where you can post videos. And you can post videos on this little tiny device that's like a Star Trek communicator. It's called a cell phone. And I think you have cell phones in the 80s, so you know what I'm talking about. But here, there's screens, and you can touch the screen, and you don't really need a keyboard like a home computer or anything. It's like the Star Trek communicator. It's the Star Trek communicator where you can upload videos and talk to each other and blah blah blah. And oh yeah, that sounds so great. But remember, this isn't the Star Trek future. This isn't, utopian socialism. No. This is RoboCop future. You gotta imagine RoboCop future, but with Star Trek technology. That's not good. I think that's like Deep Space Nine. I don't know if Deep Space Nine is out yet in the past. So, it is what it is. But, yeah. So, no matter the advances in technology, it doesn't make up for... Oh, are you wondering about cancer? No, they never cured cancer. AIDS? Nope, they never cured that either. In fact, there's more illnesses in the future. Oh my god, let me tell you about this COVID thing. Oh, or you can call it corona. Or you can call it the Chinese flu. Whatever. Point is, there's this flu in the future. And not a lot of people die from it, actually, unfortunately. But it makes things act even stupider. Because then you can't go outside, sometimes. And you can't go to restaurants and things where there's a lot of people, sometimes. Because there's like laws, but they're not really enforced. And sometimes you can't go out in public, but then other times you can. And then you're supposed to wear a mask when you're outside, sometimes. And sometimes you get sick and you die, or you get fucked up, and then other times you get sick and nothing happens. Sometimes you don't even know you're sick. You could be infected and you have no idea. That is the future in a nutshell. Sometimes, and sometimes not. Even the law is like that. Because that YouTube thing I mentioned, sometimes the law applies, but sometimes it doesn't. Because there's this thing called Section 230, where they can take down your videos anytime they want, and they can censor you, and they can harass you, and they can assault you, but they're not liable for the content that you upload, even though they're the ones dictating the content. You would think that'd be pretty self-explanatory, but no. They want to be able to dictate your content, but not be liable for the content. And people are arguing, well, it's got to be one or the other. Either they got to be liable for the content, or, they need to back the fuck up. But no, they're like, well, it's a private property. Well, so is Epstein's Island. Oh, wait, you don't know what Epstein's Island is yet either. Oh, boy, this is going to be a long one.